Hi, I'm Dr. Gary Sachs, and I'm here with Theresa Schmidt. We're both from Sachs Wellness Center, and we're going to talk about, is there a perfect diet for you? So you've been getting questions about this.
Yeah.
People are always asking, what's the right thing? What's the wrong thing? How do I know what to do? So what do you tell them?
Well, I tell them everybody's different. There is no perfect diet for everybody. There isn't a perfect diet that is going to work beautifully for everybody, and most diets aren't going to work for anybody. So really what we want is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
We want to have a good lifestyle, and I feel pretty comfortable telling people it's what you do most of the time that counts. Nobody has to be perfect. I'm not perfect. We're not perfect.
Yeah.
You know, we go off in our ways, but it's what you do most of the time. So, 75-80% of the time, if you're pretty good about your food, you'll be okay. Now, to start, some people need to do a little better than that.
Yeah.
To get
Sure.
started.
Yeah.
But
break some of the old habits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so there is that. Now we hear about things. We hear about the paleo diet. We hear about the keto diet. Things like that. So I still don't think there's one set thing for everybody.
And that word diet.
Yeah.
It makes people feel like I'm going to do this for a certain period of time, and then I'm going to stop. And there are good points to a lot of these things that are called diets, but we're really looking for, as you said, something you can really live with most of your days.
Yes.
Yeah.
So a keto-based lifestyle is okay for some people, especially people that are in pretty good shape. But there are a couple things I would warn about using keto as an example. Is with keto, that's mostly protein and mostly fat, actually. And so we do a lot of gallbladder work here.
Yeah.
And if the gallbladder's off, you really can't do a keto diet. You really can't use that for your lifestyle because you can't break the fat down, and it will upset the digestive system.
Yeah.
And people that have trouble with gallbladder just can't break fat down properly, but generally it's because they're not making enough stomach acid. And the less stomach acid you make, the less protein and good fat you can break down. So those people tend towards wanting carbohydrates anyway.
Yeah, because it's the only thing their body can handle.
Exactly. So to take somebody that's, eating a lot of carbohydrates, they might not even be aware why, and to get them to go, and to have them go, well, I'm going to do keto, and just, I'm just going to do keto. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
And it can actually make them sick.
Yeah, they won't feel good, probably. Yeah.
So there's that you have to be careful of, and if you have that kind of issue, check with us before you do anything like that. But the other thing is for the people that actually they're in pretty good shape and they can do a keto diet or lifestyle, is that you don't want to do that every day. You have to cycle with keto. So some people think, I'm just going to do that. That's how I'm going to live every day. And that's not good for us.
Yeah, and especially not long term.
Right. I tell people if you want to do that to a certain extent, for women, 3 days on, 1 day off. 3 days on, 1 day off. And the off day is not about ice cream. Off day is not ice cream. It is.
But it has a lot of fat in it.
It does. And a lot of sugar in it. A lot of carbohydrates. But what we're talking about is bringing up the good carbs, like acorn squash and butternut squash and potatoes and sweet potatoes and things like that. The root vegetables. And it certainly is a way to bring more variety into the diet, because that is really something missing in our diet is variety.
Yeah.
So parsnips, turnips, rutabaga. I just really want to take the opportunity to have people add that into their diets. Carrots, things like that.
Yeah. So a lot of times people don't think past lettuce and tomatoes, or
or
just
potatoes and sweet potatoes. There are a lot of other vegetables out there. Yeah. And I tell them the harder it is, like a rutabaga is really hard, that's better for you. It's slower processing the starch that's in it. So if we can get some of that into the diet, that's actually really good for them.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good. So other kinds of diet trends or things that people want, or they think they want to do?
And paleo's a little bit more protein. It's heavier in the protein, some carbs, some fat, but heavier in the protein. And again, pretty much do what makes you, when you eat, you feel good. That's a pretty big one. But we just have to be careful about saying this one is like going to work for everybody.
Yeah.
Because it really depends on where their digestion is, what they've been used to eating. You know, there's so much to take into account that there really isn't one good way to do it. But some additions that I do like, that I think work really well, and I think work well for people, especially people whose diets aren't great. This still works for them, is the intermittent fasting.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a great thing
to do.
That's
one of my favorites. I really like to use that. Yeah.
And intermittent fasting and a short-term fast, like a 24, 48, 72-hour fast, is good for the person that has blood sugar problems.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the best ways to reset the insulin. It's really good.
Yeah.
And those are the people that are afraid to fast. So I want to encourage that they think about fasting, because they're like, wait, I have to eat every 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually the worst thing they can do if they don't want to be diabetic. But intermittent fasting is keeping all your food within an 8-hour period, basically.
Mm-hmm.
If it's intimidating, they can start at 10 hours and then work their way to 8 hours. Some people even do 6.
Yeah.
And that's a good way to do it.
It's really easy. It sounds intimidating, but if you think about it, how many people skip breakfast anyway, or they just grab something? So if you eat lunch at 12 or 1, and then you have another 8 hours to, there's plenty of time to get a dinner in there. And really, it's not a good idea to eat past dinner anyway.
Right, right.
It's really a doable thing, and it gives your body such a rest and such a healing cycle.
Yes.
That the payoff is tremendous.
Yes. So. Yep. We then spend about 8 hours, in the digestive stuff that goes on, and then for 8 hours you fast. And you're sleeping through most of it. So yay, right? It downshifts the mitochondria. We make a lot more energy using our own body's fat.
Yeah.
So it's just a really good thing to do all the way around. Yeah. And you don't have to do it every day. For a lot of us, that's just, I've never been a morning food person.
Yeah.
So it just works easy for me. And then what I like to recommend is once every couple weeks or so, do a 24-hour. So that is easy because you eat dinner. You've had breakfast, lunch, dinner, however you want to do it. You eat dinner, and then you don't eat again until dinner. Yeah. So you don't go a full day with no food, because that's intimidating. Right. But you went 24 hours without food, and it's so good. And if you do that on a weekend, when you're going to be busy anyway, most people don't even pay attention.
Yeah, you're going to sleep in. You're going to be busy. When you
you're going to cut wood all day. And you can do that. I mean, we were out with a group this weekend, and none of us ate before we went out, and we finished at 6. So, and everybody didn't even pay attention to it. Yeah. Everybody was just busy. So it's doable. It's very doable, even if you're working. Even if you're doing things. We've got stored energy. We have stored energy.
Plenty.
So, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So we hope that some of these tips are helpful for you. And if you have any further questions, reach out to us. You can call us 989-732-7000. You can also reach us on the web, www.saxwellnesscenter.com. And we want to give a special shout out to our favorite greeter as we walk into Meijer every day. She's so sweet, always says hello to us.
Hi.